Was good, ballers? This is Jim's Ballin' back again with the recap for the latest Lions game, week 12. Let's just jump right into it. So, Lions got out of Indianapolis with another win, and they're now at 10-1. It started off with the Colts getting the first score. Their offense looked pretty decent. They went down and got a field goal, but if you remember, that also happened in the Jaguars game. You remember how that turned out. And in the second quarter, the Lions basically dominated and basically just had the complete control of the game since then and got out with a win. So all in all, it was a pretty easy win. And dare I say that the game was pretty boring. The game was boring as hell, let's be honest. But I mean, ask yourself, would you rather have a boring win or exciting loss? I'd take the boring win, honestly. But basically, the Lions controlled the line of scrimmage, the trenches on both sides of the ball. They shut down the run for Jonathan Taylor. He didn't have that good of a game, wasn't really running the best. Anthony Richardson had a few good runs, and it seems like maybe they should have tried to get that going a bit more for the Colts, but it seemed like just Anthony Richardson was just forced to sling the ball a lot, and he's not super accurate, and it didn't turn out very well. But yeah, the Lions dominated the trenches. They shut down the Colts running game, and they were able to run the ball well themselves. All three of the touchdowns for the Lions were rushing touchdowns. 2 for Gibbs, 1 for Montgomery, and they just ran the ball pretty well. And Goff was fairly efficient, had a decent game, able to throw the ball all right. And as for shutting down the run, I mean, that's what the Lions' philosophy on defense has been. It seems like the Lions have decided that, hey, we're gonna stop the run, we're gonna limit that, and the opposing team quarterback, you're gonna have to beat us. And it's been a recipe that's worked pretty well, except for against the Bucs game, the only game they lost. I mean, the Lions sort of beat themselves in that game, but Baker Mayfield, he went out and won the game for the Bucs, and just opposing quarterbacks have just shown that they have not been able to step up and be able to win games against the Lions. And I guess also part of that is a better secondary this year for the Lions compared to last year. But yeah, I thought the Colts would maybe have a bit more success running the ball. I mean, Jonathan Taylor, he's supposed to be a really good running back. I mean, if we're talking about a couple years ago, it seemed like the best running backs in the league were Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley, and Jonathan Taylor. And now looking at the current year, yeah, Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley, those two seem like the best 2 running backs. And then Jonathan Taylor, I haven't seen anyone talk about him at all. So he seems to just maybe taking a step back, maybe isn't the same player, and he's just isn't that good of a running back anymore, and he's just okay. But yeah, the Lions shut him down. And yeah, just forcing Anthony Richardson to just throw the ball a bunch. I mean, it obviously seems like a recipe for success. Anthony Richardson is decent, but he's not very accurate. He sailed some balls on some players, and just, yeah, he was not going to beat the Lions. It was just a very easy win, and not too much to say outside of injuries. I mean, the big one was to Khalif Raymond. I'd say it seems like he has the most serious injury, and that's the one that kind of worries me the most. I mean, punt returning isn't that serious. It isn't the most important thing, but I mean, when you have Amon-Ra out there taking punt returns, I mean, it just seems like you're just putting him in a situation where he's going to end up getting injured himself, you know? But maybe I'm just a little too worried. And I'm thinking maybe Jameson Williams, maybe he should be the guy taking punt returns. He definitely seems like the guy who's faster and could put up a good return. But after thinking about it a little bit, I'm thinking about, like, who's more likely to muff a punt, Amon-Ra or Williams? And it definitely seems like Williams. And I think that's most likely why Amon-Ra's back there taking punt returns, because he has such sure hands that he wouldn't muff a punt, he wouldn't drop that. And honestly, ball security is extremely important. I mean, maybe not the most important thing, because you can still throw 5 interceptions and win a game, but you'd rather not have unnecessary turnovers. So that's probably why Amon-Ra's back taking punt returns. I just hope that if Amon-Ra's the guy just doing punt returns the rest of the season, that he just does everything he can to not do anything unnecessary and just get himself injured. I'd almost prefer if he just caught the ball and then just, I don't know, slid down on every return. But for other injuries, David Montgomery got injured a little bit, and it doesn't seem too serious. He might even play on Thanksgiving, but considering how good the team's been looking, I mean, maybe it'd be best if he just sat out a week. I mean, it's not like you need to risk making an injury worse, you know? Taylor Decker also got a little bit injured, but he seems like he should be okay and might be playing on Thanksgiving as well. Carlton Davis also had a bit of a knee injury, which isn't good. He's been having a good season, so you'd like to have him in there, but as for his injury, he's able to walk and stand on it, so it seems like he should be okay. The Lions secondary's been a bit banged up too, so hopefully they can heal up. So yeah, it seems like the injuries are not that bad except for Khalif Raymond, but I mean, it seems like every week just injuries have been the biggest thing to the Lions. But they're very next man up, and considering how solid this whole roster is, injuries are a bit of a concern, but I think they should be all right. And all in all, this was just kind of another dominating win from the Lions. Not too much to note. Hopefully they can stay healthy, and hopefully they can get a good win against the Bears on Thanksgiving. Would definitely make me happy this Thanksgiving, haha. But yeah, another good win for the Lions. Now at 10-1, bit crazy to say, but hopefully we keep stacking up the wins and win the NFC.